Yes, people, yes, people, yes, people. We're back again. It's the We Talk Football podcast. It's episode 2. And this week, we talk football news, we talk football fixtures, and we talk football fantasy league. I'm Jamie, and the man to my right, the man who can't talk into a mic properly, the self-proclaimed brains of the operation, it's my co-host Kwaku. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good, brother. How you doing?
I'm really well. I feel like we're exhibiting a level of consistency that we didn't anticipate.
Oh, well, mate, episode 2, we weren't expected to get this far. We thought it was going to be like a little shitty thing that we did on the first day and then just put it aside. But it's banging that we're here for another episode and try and bring you more episodes. Should we talk about Gareth Bale first?
Oh, mate. Yeah.
Madness. True madness. Like, I thought they weren't going to be able to pay Spurs. I thought they weren't going to be able to pay his salary, but somehow they seem to have found a negotiation or found a middle ground, and
yeah,
it seems like he's going back to Spurs, which is fucking mad.
I mean, it pains me as a West Ham fan because, you know, who actually likes Spurs in London that isn't a Spurs fan. But the rumours are that Real Madrid are so desperate to get him off the wage bill, and the relationship between Bale and Zidane is, obviously it's been a turbulent one for the last few years. Yeah. Apparently, Real Madrid are even willing to subsidise some of his wages.
Yeah, I saw that. Mate, he's on 17 million euros a year. Yeah, it's like fucking mad money.
Like 600k a year or something like that.
A week.
The figures that are being thrown around are that it's going to cost Spurs in the region of around 20 million a year just to get him on loan.
Really?
Yeah, 20 million. And I think the initial, obviously they're looking at getting him on loan because obviously he's got 2 years left at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
could be really smart business for Spurs.
What do you think about the transfer? Like personally, do you? Because we did a poll, we put a poll out there on Instagram. Thank you for everybody who partook in that poll. And it's overwhelming support in terms of they wanted Gareth Bale back at Spurs. So
100%. I think the one glaring issue that you can't overlook is that he hasn't played much football in the last couple of years. Obviously, he has been largely out of favour. You know, even when he's been synonymous with Champions League wins and things like that, you know, he didn't even start that game. You know, he came off the bench and scored the overhead kick and things like that.
Did score one of the greatest goals I've ever seen.
Don't get me wrong, right? But I think Spurs fans would be naive to think that, you know, it's 2014 and that they're getting the same player back. I was looking at some of his stats. You know, he's doing like, in terms of dribbles per game and shots per game, they're like, it's about half the amount as what he was at that time. For
sure.
It's quite funny though, what it took Tottenham 6 years to replace Gareth Bale with Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale, but the thing is, it's an exciting time for the Premier League, just in terms of the players coming to this league. If you look at players such as like James Rodriguez, who's now at Everton, Bale coming back to Spurs. Obviously, there's the consistent links with Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. Like the Premier League, just full of superstars, and it's going to be so interesting to see how he integrates in that Tottenham team. I don't know who do you reckon would miss out in that Spurs team.
Again, like I think we alluded to this the other day. I feel like it's going to be a Premier League season that's going to rely heavily on squad rotation. But the one thing that was glaring from Spurs in their opening fixture against Everton, they lost 1-0. They had no creativity going forward.
Lack of dynamism. They look dead. They look. Do you know what the thing is? I think that Jose or the Spurs documentary on Amazon, which is basically the Jose Mourinho show, like it gassed everyone up. It was like Jose's back, and then when you actually see Spurs play, you're just like, you need so much more work done. And I suppose that kind of leads on to their other signing, Sergio Reguilón.
Yeah. I mean, again, anyone that's really watched Sevilla play will be able to say how much of a good player he is. He scored an amazing goal in the Europa League last year against Roma and played really well against United. Yeah,
well, he got into the Europa League's team of the season. And obviously, that's why Real Madrid, obviously his parent club, have put that buyback clause, alleged buyback clause in his contract. Just because he does look like he's going to go on to be a worldie. But it's good business by Spurs, especially with a short-term manager like Jose Mourinho. Sure. Even if Real Madrid do activate that buyback clause in 2 or 3 years' time, they would have got a good player in their hands. He looks like a top player. Really good.
And initially what was coming out when the news broke about Gareth Bale was that Real Madrid were going to try and use Dele Alli in negotiations, but I think that's broken down now.
What do you think about Dele Alli at Spurs? Like, he's just gone off the boil, mate. Like,
so I like Dele Alli. I think Dele Alli has got that streak in him that you need to be successful. But I think it could be time for him to maybe try another club. I feel like it may have got stale for him.
Yeah.
You know, in the documentary, for example, you know, everyone knows what Jose said. When he was at United, Alex Ferguson gave him one piece of advice in the time he was there, and it was sign Dele Alli.
Yeah. Mate, like 2-3 years ago, he was hot shit. Like he was the guy. He's not even getting selected for England squads now. But it'll be interesting to see how Spurs do get on, because what I do kind of want to touch on slightly is what that actually means for Manchester United, because Reguilon's another player who was massively linked with them.
Yeah, apparently the buyback clause is what put him off.
Yeah, that's what. Again, I understand if you're a big club and you don't want to leave yourself open to potentially selling one of your top players for less than market value in a few years' time. I understand that, but United, they need to get a move on. The transfer window closes 5th October. Jadon Sancho, that shadow still looms large. And they're like, with United, they're at danger of like perception becoming reality. The perception from like the fans is that like the board take too long, it's a painstaking process to get these deals done. I think the reality is that United are in the process of trying to operate like a big club. But what come 5th October, if you haven't signed Jadon Sancho and other targets have gone elsewhere, that perception will become reality. So they need to be very careful.
Because there's a lot of football Twitter is alive with Man United fans at the moment, moaning that they're not going for Gareth Bale. But if you look at their current transfer policy, you can kind of understand why. I don't think the club's really going in that way. They're looking at young talent, that is electric. And I think, if they buy Gareth Bale, is there going to be any sell-on value in a few years? Who knows? I suppose if they go for a loan, but yeah.
It's akin to like that when they signed like Bastian Schweinsteiger and like Alexis Sanchez, like players who were like a little bit over the hill. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think Gareth Bale could come to the Premier League. Ultimately, he's nailed on for the Euros, isn't he? But he's going to want to be in tip-top shape and sparkling form for that. So
that's the thing about it. I think he's using Spurs almost as not as like, obviously he loves the club or whatnot, but I think he's using it as like a tune-up, like you say, for the Euros next year, because we all know he loves Wales, so he needs to be playing regular football. And I feel like Spurs was his first choice, but he just needs to get himself fit for next summer.
I saw an interesting stat about Gareth Bale on Sky Sports actually, and it was Gareth Bale's won more titles at Madrid than Zidane. He's got more assists than David Beckham. Yeah. And he scored more goals than Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. Like the striker.
See, that's
mental. The level of like disrespect that's put at this man. Like,
bro, let's go through it. Okay, so Zidane won. I think he won one Champions League. Obviously, scored that incredible goal in the final.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos cross and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, was it against Leverkusen?
I think it was Leverkusen. Yeah.
And I think David Beckham won La Liga title. They were part of that Galacticos era. That was kind of like a failed era. Gareth Bale, Ronaldo hadn't won a Champions League before Gareth Bale came to Real Madrid. Gareth Bale comes in and they win 4. Do you know what I mean? It's the disrespect that he gets.
He's a baller.
It's a madness. But
part of that was obviously Karius like funding 2 of the goals, but
But the goal with the overhead kick, bro.
Mate, he's just a baller. I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it pains me as a West Ham fan to see us signing no one, and then you see like clubs in the league going like, you know what, let's just spend 20 million on a loan.
Madness, man. I think as big as the Bale transfer potentially will be, and as great as the signing Reguilon is, I think the biggest transfer news of this week is Thiago Alcantara going to Liverpool.
Bro,
madness, isn't it?
That signing has gone under the radar. Like, it's 20 million, around 20 million,
and then 20 or 30 in it.
Yeah, but not some outlets. It's low 20s with about 5 million in bonuses.
Yeah, and add-ons. Yeah.
This guy is a baller, an absolute baller. How is he going for £20 million in this market?
It's a madness, isn't it? It's a mad. Like, I'd say arguably top 10 players in the world. He's there.
Yeah.
Off the back of winning.
Centre mids kind of thing?
Mate, I'm just thinking.
Mate, you're backing him.
He's a baller, bro. And I hate Liverpool. We both hate Liverpool, but that's a signing. Now my prediction of Liverpool coming third in the league is looking a little bit ropey, just because he's an absolute baller, man.
Yeah, well, the news articles were saying that he was in the last year of his contract, so that could be why the fee was so low. And apparently the buyout clause in his contract was 30 million euros. But yeah, apparently they offered him a 3-year deal and he wanted a 4-year deal. Yeah. And then that potentially, turned his head. He's 29. So
he's 29, but like a player like that, they can play till they're 33, 34, 35. How long is Pirlo playing for? You know what I mean?
Of course. I feel like he's been around forever as well.
He has. Yeah. The thing about him, though, he does get injured quite a bit. What the contract is, I've got up here, it's up until 2024, like you say, like a 4-year contract. Bro, like, even if you only get 3 great years out of Thiago Alcantara, like, you take that, 2 great years out of him, like, especially with Liverpool trying to defend their title, as Klopp put it, attack their title. They're mate, they need 2 or 3 good years out of him, and I feel like they're going to get that. He's an absolute baller. Like you said, I don't know how they've managed to do that, but again, it's business that they've got over the line. They've paid more than they wanted to pay, but that's a leaf that leaf out there, but that Manchester United needs to take, because they got the business done because they need the player.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of more football news, this week it finally happened. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang signed a new 3-year deal.
Yeah, okay, obviously gas. If you're an Arsenal fan, gas. And also, if you're an Arsenal fan, I can understand why you have true love for this guy, because Nasri left, RVP left, all these players left, and Aubameyang stayed when he had offers from other clubs. So I respect that, innit? As a fan of football, I respect that. For him though, he must really buy into the Mikel Arteta project, because this is going to be his final big contract, really and truly. He's 31 years old. He's a baller, but I just don't know if he's going to win many trophies, man. Obviously, last year he picked up the FA Cup as captain, and in the promo video or whatnot for the signing of the contract, he did say that his main goal was to become an Arsenal legend. And fair enough, but at 31 years old, you're sure your goal's got to be to win trophies, and I don't know if Arsenal are the place for that. Yeah,
and you can look at his age and then look at the amount they're paying him as well.
Fuckloads.
They're paying him that because he's going to guarantee him goals. But is he going to be guaranteeing them goals when he's 30, 33, 34? Who knows?
Well, strikers' primes are now changing, because you look at the best strikers in the world: Aubameyang 31, Lewandowski 31, 32, Benzema in his 30s. Yeah. Strikers' primes are getting older, and maybe he adjusts his game a lot more. Maybe he stops playing down the left hand side and more centrally. But obviously for Arsenal, that's almost like a new signing, isn't it? It's they need to get that business done, and they got it done. So
that's what I was saying last week. I think the most important signing that they can make in this window is getting Aubameyang tied down. He scored at the weekend. Arsenal looks really good as well. I hate to admit they look really good.
Do not. It bothers me, man, because I said Arsenal. I can't even remember what I said. I think said 6th.
Yeah.
And they looked really, really good. And Gabriel obviously scoring on his debut, putting a man of the match performance. They looked sick. I'm just Arsenal always start the season well, not always, but they do start the season well generally, and I think they'll tail off. I think the true Arsenal will shine through. Yeah, come November, December, you'll see fans on Arsenal Fan TV moaning about something.
Mad. I know football exists in a vacuum, and obviously the financial climate that the country's in at the moment, obviously football's completely separate to that. But you just look at the figures that they're paying Aubameyang and then Willian alone. Yeah, I know. 2 players that are in there, I've always thought of Arsenal as like a retirement home for Chelsea players.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, they are.
But, it's crazy. I think it's always a risk paying 250, 300 grand or whatever to someone who's 31, but I think the one thing that Aubameyang does bring you is guaranteed goals, and you'd expect that for the next few years at least.
Well, for the next 2 years for sure. But the thing about Arsenal though is that they've still got that Mesut Ozil contract on the books, and they ain't shifting him anytime soon. So we'll see how that one goes.
Mate, who knows? It could be another Aubameyang situation in a couple of years.
They're rotting on the fucking bench.
Nothing would make me happier. That's what I'm saying. Nothing would make me happier. Love the Gunners.
Who else on the contract? Jack Grealish,
yeah. I'm happy for Jack Grealish.
Mate, same. I think that you've got to weigh up. Not in life, it's not all about winning. It's about your happiness as well. He's comfortable at Villa, real comfortable there. Will go on to be a club legend. I feel like now with him signing this contract, it's kind of eliminated any future big moves to one of the top 6 sides. He's captain. He's comfortable. Become Villa legend and be happy, really. Yeah,
so apparently he's getting a 55,000 boost on his previous deal, putting him up to about 135k a week.
Right.
I think
lends the tenor.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I think in terms of what he brings to the Villa side, I think it's imperative. He pretty much kept him up last year. Actually VAR kept him up last year, but we won't go into that.
Yeah.
But again, he was obviously early in the window. He was linked with a move to Man United, and that didn't materialise. I'm really surprised, no one went in for him. We were just talking about Spurs. Spurs need that creativity. Obviously, they've got potentially going to be getting Bale, but I think there's quite a few sides that he could go into in the Premier League and he could have strengthened.
Mate, absolute baller. What created the second most chances in the Premier League behind Kevin De Bruyne. He's a baller, but the thing about him at Villa, he's got autonomy. When I see Jack Grealish play, you see him pick up the ball from so deep. He's almost like a captain of the school football team. He has to do everything for that team, and that just might be how he enjoys playing. And I'm not saying he lacks the discipline to go to a bigger club, but at a different club, his role will be very, very, very different. And I don't think you'll see the best out of Jack Grealish when you kind of limit what he does.
I'd be really interested in viewing the finer details of the contract. Obviously, we don't know that, but Aston Villa, they've had an okay transfer market. They brought in Ollie Watkins, obviously signing Grealish. You'd expect them to do a little bit better, but they stayed up by the skin of their teeth last year. What happens if they get relegated? Is there any relegation clauses in that contract? I'd be interested to know.
Oh, for sure there'll be clauses in that contract. The thing about he's gonna look even better this season because Ollie Watkins is gonna put the ball in the back of the net. Last season, Villa strikers, it was an absolute mess. Like, didn't have anyone who could score goals. Like, it was literally Roy the Rover stuff with Jack Grealish. I think this season he's gonna get better assists. He's gonna get a lot more goals as well, and I feel like he's gonna look really, really good and establish himself in the England team.
Yeah, well, that's it. He did get a recent call up, didn't he? Someone dropped out and he got called up in the end, didn't he? Yeah, I can't think who it was, but I think that may have potentially eased his worries because I thought prior to that he might have thought I need to get to a big club, I want to go to the Euros or whatever. Now that he's in the England side, he's Aston Villa through and through. He's been there since he was a kid. Yeah, I think it's a great move for him. It's a great move for Aston Villa fans.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But all right, so I think that's the roundup on football news. Yeah. Do you want to move on to the Premier League fixtures or football fixtures?
Yeah, let's talk football fixtures.
Banging. So on Saturday, the early kickoff is Everton versus West Brom.
I was really impressed with Everton on the weekend. Shout out Calvert-Lewin, you're in my fantasy league, mate. Bring me those points.
Mate, the problem with putting this thing on record is that last week I was like, oh yeah, I don't think Calvert-Lewin would do it. all my mates fell at me like, I thought you said Calvert-Lewin weren't gonna do it.
No, honestly, Everton looked solid. How good did Alan look?
It looked really good. The midfield looked really good, man. Like Hammers, obviously, I think second half he just tired a little bit. First half he looked really, really good. They looked sharp, man. I don't know if it was bad Spurs or good. It was good Everton. I think we need to give Everton credit. They look really good.
Yeah, they won in the Cup as well, 3-0 against Salford. Obviously, you'd expect them to win that, but there were a couple of Premier League sides that went out to lower league oppositions. Yeah. They dispatched them quite easily. Everton looked really impressive, and
West Brom don't.
West Brom don't. West Brom got played off the park. I can't look past an Everton winning this one, if I'm honest.
Well, give me a score prediction.
I'm going at least 3-1. I think 3-1.
3-1. All right, 3-1.
What do you think?
I don't even know. I think West Brom did look bad against Leicester, but I'm going to go with a draw in this game. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1. I don't think West Brom will play as badly this week, and I do think that Everton are really, really good, but they have got to blood in a whole new midfield, and I do think it's going to take a while, and I don't think fixtures are necessarily going to go as planned in terms of Everton winning games you expect them to win. I think there's going to be a few hiccups there, so I'm going to go 1-1 in that game.
Sure, okay. Yeah. Then you've got the 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, which is Leeds and Fulham. Yeah. Again, following the same, two newly promoted sides, but again, following a same train of thought as the Everton-West Brom game. Leeds played Liverpool, did look very good. What I will say is they conceded a lot from set pieces. Yeah. You can't defend like that in the Premier League.
The defending was so ropey.
Yeah.
Did you notice that literally all these players have got the same haircut? They've all got that silly top. Not silly, if you've got a top knot, whatever. But they've all got the same haircut. They've all got the same barber, surely.
Yeah, and then Fulham again.
I reckon you should go over that haircut. Right. Could you imagine? Oh.
But then, Fulham, again, did not look strong at all.
Got battered. Absolutely bad.
Yeah.
They looked in it for a little bit in the first half against Arsenal, but they got battered. They are worrying stuff. They're worrying stuff. I don't know. Arsenal were really good, but they got smashed. And I think Leeds take this one. What you got a score prediction for that?
I'm going to go 1-0 Leeds. I think it'll be a narrower game. Yeah. I think Fulham are obviously used to playing Leeds last season. Yeah. I don't know how they got on in the head-to-heads last season, if I'm honest, but I can see Leeds winning this one 1-0 and pressure starting to mount on Scotty Parker.
All right, I'm going to go 3-1 Leeds. I think they'll score a few goals. They looked so threatening against Liverpool, especially on the counter. I think it'll be 3-1 Leeds in that game.
Okay. Then you've got the 5:30 kickoff, which is Man United and Crystal Palace.
So first chance seeing Manchester United in the Premier League this season. Yeah. I'm not excited to see how they line up. I want to see what their midfield is saying. I want to see if Van de Beek starts. I want to see if he does start, how they line up in the middle of the park.
So I'm excited to see how they line up. I want to know how Ollie's going to make that gel. Who misses out? You know, is he going to play Mason Greenwood after he got brought home from the English squad? Is he going to be punished for that? Who knows? Like,
he's playing.
He's
playing. He's playing.
You know, again, Crystal Palace, they won their first game. Zaha looks like he's playing for a move.
Eze looks a little bit naughty as well.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they look a little. Because the thing about Palace is they're one of these stagnant Premier League clubs that like always on the 3:00 kickoff, and you just kind of forget about them. But now that Eze and they got Zaha on the other side, I think they look pretty exciting. They look like they can do a little bit.
Yeah, Zaha might have a point to prove as well, playing against Man United, previous side.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is. I think he's playing for a move at the moment. I think it's baffling how he's still there, if I'm honest. I know that the fees that Crystal Palace are going to be expecting are quite high. But
I think similar to like Jack Grealish in terms of, obviously he would like a move, but how much like they're going to have to charge to get rid of him. I feel like he's comfortable
in the current
there.
Market, at least 50-60 mil.
Surely he's got like a highest earner clause in his contract as well, because he's their guy.
Yeah.
I think that he's comfortable there, and if a move does materialise, it does materialise. But I feel like we'll see Zaha playing in Palace for the majority of his prime.
I was gutted because he scored 2, didn't he? But then one got taken out for VAR. Yeah, and then I had him in my fantasy league. I removed him like the morning of the game. I had an absolute nightmare. But yeah.
Score prediction?
I'm actually going to go 1-1 on that one.
I was literally going 1-0 as well. I think the pressure's going to start to mount, and I feel like this game will be the trigger for Manchester United to get the Jadon Sancho business done quickly, because I feel they're going to look a little bit blunt. Obviously, it's difficult. They're starting the week after everybody else, which has given them a longer pre-season. But I just think they're going to struggle a little bit to get into rhythm. I think it's going to be 1-1 as well. Both going for the same. Read my mind, mate.
Okay. Then the 8:00 kickoff on Saturday.
God, I'll let you go on this one.
Arsenal versus West Ham.
Yeah.
Now, Arsenal, obviously we've already said it, they played really well in their first game. West Ham got paid off the park by a Newcastle side that isn't really going to trouble anyone. Will comfortably probably finish around the 10th to 14th mark, quite comfortably. You wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And we got battered. We looked awful, uninspiring, absolutely nothing in the side at all.
Yeah.
And we've got players like, Felipe Anderson and Haller, like, best part of £100 million worth of players sitting on the bench just chilling.
I'm not going to rip West Ham too much this week, but every single time you name these players, like, Felipe Anderson, Haller, these are players that you've bigged up to me so much previously. It's always the same West Ham. It's like, Lanzini's a world beater, Haller's a world beater, like, Yarmolenko, oh my God, his left foot. And then these players always, like, within a year's time, it's like, they're shit. Like, wild one with West Ham in terms of recruitment and stuff. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how the club's being run.
Well, to allude, I mean, you can argue with how the club's been run for quite a while, and I think our transfer policy hasn't been the best. There has been a few good moves, like Jared Bowen in the middle of last season, solid season. I know you don't back it, but just give it time. Souček's solid for us, although when he played Newcastle, Andy Carroll had him in his back pocket and kind of he scored him, made him feel like a child.
Yeah.
But then we did play against Charlton in the Cup, obviously. Yeah. League One side, but we dispatched them 3-0. Haller got 2, Felipe Anderson got 1.
Your boys.
Lanzini, by the way, pulled out some skills, set up Felipe Anderson in the second half. I think it was a really positive performance from them. I think getting a win over Arsenal, especially at the Emirates, is a tough ask. I can see us testing them. I can see us being a lot better and bouncing back from last week, but is a win too much? I don't know. I could see. Do you know what? I'm going a 2-1 win. West Ham. I'm backing them.
I like it.
I'm backing them.
2-1. That's at the Emirates as well. Okay, so Arsenal looked really, really good. West Ham didn't look very good. Like, obviously they got the win in the midweek in the League Cup. I'm going for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal win. Again, like, obviously I'd love West Ham to take points off of Arsenal, because I do think Arsenal are going to be a bit more dangerous than I gave them credit for at the beginning of the season. But I just see Arsenal winning that one 2-0.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's all the Saturday games. Let's go on to Sunday. So we got Southampton and Tottenham playing this Sunday, the midday kickoff. How are you feeling about that game?
All right, so I do back Southampton this season. They do look. It's difficult in the first few games of the season, because it's difficult to kind of make an assessment or make a judgment of a team. But I do think Southampton look good, and Spurs don't look that good.
Well, 2 losses on the bounce to Southampton. They got knocked out of the cup last night from Brentford.
Yeah, but like in terms of the Hassan Hutel as a manager and the players they've actually got, I feel like at the beginning of the season that it's like teething. It's teething, and like I don't think that they look as bad as they looked midweek. Obviously, they're a Premier League team that's gone out to a team in the lower division, but I do feel like they're a lot better than that, and I think they will finish comfortably in the top half of the season. Okay. And I don't think Spurs look that good, and obviously with these transfers kind of bubbling and about to be secured, I feel like that could give them a boost, but I see a draw in that game, to be fair. I see a 2-2 draw. Spurs haven't sorted out the defence yet. And that's Jose Mourinho's prowess.
Yeah.
And they still haven't managed to sort out the defence. They looked shaky against Everton.
Yeah.
And I could see them conceding a couple of goals. So I'm going 2-2 that game.
I watched it all or nothing. I'm on episode 5 now.
What do you think of it?
I think it's good. I really like it. It's really endeared me to Eric Dyer. I think Eric Dyer is I just like him as a person. I don't know if I like him as a player, but I like him as a person. Really like Jan Vertonghen now. Yeah. Gutted that he didn't sign a contract extension with Tottenham because he clearly loved that club. But yeah, it's Tottenham. I don't like Tottenham.
Yeah. Do you hate Tottenham the most in the league? What team do you hate the most?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. It's close between Tottenham and Arsenal, I'd say. Tottenham and Arsenal. Tottenham, I just hate them as an entity. It's Arsenal, it's the fans.
Arsenal is the fans. It is the fans. But the thing about Arsenal fans, I actually do feel for them in terms of like the amount of shit they've been put through. But Spurs is just there's a delusion, there's a raw delusion there in terms of where they're at.
Sure.
So what have you gone for that game then?
I'm going 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. I think a draw. I think you're on the money with a 2-2 draw. I was thinking score draw.
Yeah, I'm kind of want to change my prediction.
You reckon?
I kind of want to change my prediction.
Mate, you got to stick with your convictions. You said 2-2. You said 2-2.
I know, but I kind of want to change my prediction.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I'll leave it.
Okay.
Because I do want to go for Southampton win. Not going to lose 3 games on the bounce. Like and I feel like there's going to be like a reaction.
I'm sticking with my guns.
2-1 Southampton. Fuck it.
You're bottling it.
That's not, mate. What, bottling saying Southampton are going to beat Spurs?
You're bottling, mate. You went with a 2-2 and you've gone to 2-1. Okay, that's fine. I mean, if you can't stick with
I've gone for the underdogs.
It's the man who can't speak into a mic or stick to his convictions, people.
All right, go on.
Okay,
next
one. Newcastle and Brighton are on at 2 o'clock Sunday. Newcastle again. I think they're a side that aren't going to trouble the top 6 or anything like that, but I can see them comfortably finishing mid-table. As annoying as it was to see Andy Carroll playing well, I think I can see another win from him. I think the 2 games they've played so far, I think they scored 4 goals, and I think either 3 or 4 of those have been from new signings. You look at Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, they've all scored in the Premier League or the Cup or whatever. I think fair play to them. The new signings they've brought in, they're gelling really well.
Yeah.
Brighton looked okay, but I think Newcastle, I can see 1-0 win there. I reckon.
This is a hard one because Brighton did look good against Chelsea.
I think that was more Chelsea looked bad though.
Nah, Brighton looked decent, and Dunk had the chance to
even it up with the header, didn't he?
Yeah.
Agent Dunk.
Well, I don't know what I'm going for that game. Brighton did look alright. Lamptey looked really good as well.
Yeah, he's electric.
But Newcastle again, they dispatched West Ham pretty easily. But is that bad West Ham rather than good Newcastle?
Bit of both. I think in the first half we hit the bar a few times as well. So we did have chances against Newcastle. We just didn't take them. But Newcastle, finished when they needed to, and ultimately went away with 3 points.
Oh, I'm going 1-0 Newcastle. They're at home as well.
Yeah, same 1-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
Then the big one.
All right, let me go. Go.
Mate, I'm going to unleash Quaker on this one. Right, so we got Chelsea and Liverpool on at 4:30 Sunday. The big one. I'd say the game of the weekend, easily. Fill your boots, Quaker. Go on.
So, obviously Thiago, that yet to be confirmed. That should be confirmed by the weekend. He won't be in the squad for the Chelsea game, I don't think. Liverpool looked ropey in the first game, man. They looked a little bit shaky. Like conceded 3 goals. Obviously Salah looked on fire. It wasn't only the hat-trick, it was just a general play. He just looked on fire.
That new haircut suits him as well.
New trim. Van Dijk looked shaky. Liverpool just looked a bit shaky at the back. They didn't look as assured as they have been previously. But Chelsea didn't look great either. Chelsea looked
bang average.
But that game against Brighton would have been a game that we would have dropped points last season. and we managed to beat them comfortably. If we had to go one more goal, we would be top of the league right now.
That's what champions do. If they don't play well, they still turn up and win games. It's what Liverpool did most of last season, winning games 1-0 when they weren't playing well.
If Timo Werner would have scored against Brighton, and Kai Havertz would have looked good, and we would look really good against Brighton, I would have gone into this game with a lot of bluster. Before the season started, I said we're going to beat Liverpool 3-1 on the second game of the season. After seeing that performance and the lack of cohesiveness or lack of cohesion, between the defensive line and like the attacking line in terms of going forward, I'm not as confident, but I'm still going to go with the Chelsea win. I think we're going to win this game 2-1.
Really?
Yeah. I think Timo Werner double.
Really?
I think Timo Werner double.
Well, I need him to. I backed him for the Golden Boot. He's got nothing so far.
He looked good in the first game. I feel like Hakim Ziyech not being there kind of hinders us a little bit in terms of creativity. He's making a lot of good runs. There's a chance where Ross Barkley could have put him through. There's also a chance where Loftus-Cheek could have played him through. It could have been a better ball. And then the ball that Jorginho played him through for where he won the penalty. If that ball was a little bit better, he would have been able to control it around the keeper. Obviously, won a penalty out of it. But I do think that we're going to beat them 2-1. Timo Werner 2 goals. I think for them, I think Mane's going to score a goal for them. But I think we're going to beat them 2-1. It's going to be a big result. It's going to be a big marker to put down at the beginning of the season. And it's going to get Liverpool rattled, which I fucking love.
Well, I agree with everything you just said, but I would actually go with the 2-1 Liverpool win.
Really?
Yeah. I think Chelsea will score. I think Chelsea will definitely score.
Yeah.
But as you rightly said, I think Salah looks electric, and I can see a 2-1 Liverpool win, even though they are away. Okay. But again, Chelsea did concede to Brighton. Liverpool, although they conceded 3 to lead, it was 4-3, wasn't it? Although they conceded 3 to Leeds, I can see them scoring as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 Liverpool win. That's what my gut's saying.
Fair. Well, the thing is, I can understand why you'd go with that. Kepa, did you see the ball went under his arm, man? Like he's done out here. And Gary Neville and James Carragher made a good point in terms of, like, you've never seen a team win the Premier League with a keeper that's below average. Like, he is actually a poor goalkeeper. I think it's partly to do with confidence. I do think it's partly to do with skill set. I think he's slightly undersized in terms of a top Premier League goalkeeper. He's not a good enough shot stopper to compensate for that. So, Liverpool scoring 2 goals is not far-fetched. But I've got to back my guys, obviously.
Okay.
Future title winners.
I understand that. Leicester and Burnley are on at 7 p.m. in the evening. Again, Leicester looked quality. Jamie Vardy does what Jamie Vardy does.
He scores goals, mate.
Yeah.
He scores goals.
I reckon it's going to be a Vardy party again. I'm going to go with... You know what? I'm going to go with a 2-1 win again. I feel like I'm being really conservative.
I think we're both being pretty conservative.
In my score lines, but again, I can't see them scoring loads past Burnley. I feel like Burnley don't concede loads of goals.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche sides don't do that. So I can only see a Leicester win. And I will stand corrected if I'm wrong. But I'll go 2-1 Leicester.
See, I'm actually going to go 1-0 Burnley here. I think Brendan Rodgers is going to be a candidate for the first manager to get sacked this season.
Jeez, big words.
Obviously, they looked really good last week against West Brom. But I just think the hangover of not making the top 4 last season is going to affect them. I think they're going to struggle this season in terms of finishing in the top 6. I think that Burnley are going to win 1-0.
Okay, I mean, I don't think Brendan Rodgers is going to be the first person to get sacked. That's definitely going to Frank Lampard when he doesn't.
You're mad. You put Chelsea second, mate. So don't get gassed. And then the last 2 fixtures we got of this match day round is we've got Aston Villa versus Sheffield United on Monday at 6 o'clock. What you got for this?
I'm actually going to go with an Aston Villa win.
Yeah.
I was watching a few podcasts over the weekend, and there were people giving predictions that they can actually see Sheffield United having second season syndrome
for sure,
and possibly going down.
Going down.
Yeah. I think going down might be a little bit steep, but I can actually see Aston Villa a win here. I think Grealish is obviously revitalised, new contract. Ollie Watkins scored in the cup the other day.
Yeah.
Fair play. I mean, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win against Sheffield.
Fair enough. So what, Villa winning 1-0? I'm going to go... This is a tough one, man. I think this is the toughest fixtures to kind of predict of the whole match day week. I'm going to go Sheffield United 1, Aston Villa 1. It's going to be a draw. And then so conservative. It's such a boring prediction.
But the next fixture, I think this is actually going under the radar. I think this is the sick game. 8:15, Wolves versus Man City. Can we just start with appreciating how much of a baller Jimenez is.
Yeah, of
honestly,
course.
that goal he scored the other day, like leaning back, the little volley.
He's a gunman.
Honestly, just caressed it. Like, unbelievable.
He's a straight gunman. The thing is, Wolves did have their way with Man City last season. Wolves do seem to play well against City as well.
Man City's first game as well.
Yeah, but Man City is slapping them.
Yeah, 100%.
Man City is slapping them. Man City is slapping them like 4-1. I'm going
4-1.
Yeah.
They lost to Traore scored last year.
I know.
They lost, didn't they?
But Man City are slapping them. Man City
gearing to go. Their first game.
They've watched everybody play. They're the last ones up. It's Monday Night Football. It's they get the full treatment. They know everyone's watching. Man City are gonna slap them, mate. They're gonna slap them.
It'll be interesting to see how they line up. Obviously with Ake and everyone. You'd imagine Ake would start, but will Ferran Torres play? Yeah. But yeah, I can see a Man City win as well. I wouldn't go as out there as 4-1, but I can see possibly another like 3-1. 3-1, I'd say.
All right.
But yeah, that's the football fixtures.
Yeah. Should we move on to football fantasy?
So yeah, people, let's talk about football fantasy league and see how we are getting on as hosts, and then see who's top of the league and bottom. We want to make this a regular thing where we are shouting people out. So let's start with bottom of the league. We've got Not a Clue, who is Nathan Alexander. Shout out you, Nathan. I haven't spoken to you in a long time, but I hope you're good, man. But you're on 15 points, mate. You're not doing well.
Why is he on 15? Hold on. Let me pull up his team, because that was our rookie. he had Alisson in goal, who let in 3 goals. He had De Bruyne, he had Fernandes, who didn't play, and he had Martial on his team. He might sweep up this week because obviously United and City are playing against, but that's rookie from him. Wooden Spoon Award goes to Nathan Alexander.
And who's top? Oh, mate, it's the guy. Charlie, he's already got one shout out. He got a shout out last episode. He's getting another one.
Yeah, Charlie Waters, top of the league, got 68 points.
Yeah, back of the netto.
He had Willian as captain, which was shrewd business, to be fair. I don't think anybody would have had that. And Willian got a couple of assists, didn't he?
It's tight. You got first, second and third, 68, 66 and 65.
Yeah.
I'm in 5th with 59. Where's Kwaku? Oh, in 13th with 44.
Oh, mate. All right, we're just starting. We just started.
There's 3 people involved in this podcast. Me, Kwaku, and then Harriet, our editor.
Yeah.
She's currently above Kwaku. So Kwaku is bottom of our league here.
What, bottom of the internal We Talk Football
Bottom of the
league?
Internal We Talk Football league. I think there needs to be some sort of punishment at the end of the league or end of the season.
What, forfeit?
Little forfeit.
We'll think of something.
We'll think of something. But yeah, Kwaku's not doing well. But yeah, let me just run through my team and the transfer that I've done for this week. So I had Ruben Vinagre in for Wolves. I think along with most people who are playing fantasy league, hoping that he'd play. He didn't. I've now taken him out. And I've actually put Reece James in there. I think Chelsea was that a smart move before playing Liverpool. Who knows? But I think Chelsea will score. There's a potential he could get an assist. I think, Reece James. How about yourself?
So my team is the same. I haven't made any transfers yet. Obviously, you're a bit of a rookie fantasy player in terms of making your transfers before Friday, because you don't know if injuries can happen.
You're on 44 points, mate. But that's what I'm saying. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Timo Werner, apparently he's he has got a knock, but I think he'll play against Liverpool for sure.
75% playing, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, I haven't made any transfers yet, but I reckon come Friday I might take Antonio out of there just because they're playing against Arsenal, and I might look to put another striker in. But for now, my team's as it was. You can see it on the overlay now, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, so shout out to Charlie who's smashing it with 68 points. He's actually one of our closest friends. We had a league last year and he won that as well, so he is true to form. And also shout out to Nathan with the 15 points. You have had a rookie error with putting those Man United and Man City players in, but shout out to yourself. Have your wooden spoon. Enjoy that, my friend. And yeah, that was We Talk Football Fantasy League. So yeah, guys, that was episode 2 of the We Talk Football podcast. Again, we do really appreciate all the support that we've been getting from all of you. What I will do is I'm just going to shout out our socials really quickly. So we've actually gone away and sorted it out since the first episode. We're actually on all platforms now. So we're on Spotify, Apple Music. We're on YouTube under We Talk Football Podcast. Our Instagram, you can find that at We Talk Football Podcast. And we'll make sure there's links in all the bios so you can find all our links that way. Twitter, we're WTF Podcast 90. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you like and share the content. We do appreciate, like Jamie touched on before, we do appreciate the support. Obviously, we're trying to get this thing going, something that was like a passion project for us. So yeah, go and follow us on socials. We will be bringing you content every single weekend. So yeah, check us out, and I hope you enjoyed the second episode.
Yeah, sick guys. Enjoy the football this weekend, and yeah, let us know what you think about the podcast. Cheers.
Banging. Nice one.